You can easily point to a number of reasons as to why a lot of people tended to overlook the potential impact that Chet Holmgren brought with him into the NBA. Well, for one, there's the fact that he shares a rookie class with one of the most generational prospects ever in Victor Wembanyama. Plus, it also didn't help that Chet joined a Thunder team that already featured the best young core in the entire association. But whatever the case may be, not only is Chet currently looking like the runaway winner for the 2024 Rookie of the Year award, but he's also having one of the most remarkable rookie seasons in NBA history. And it's crazy that he's doing all of these while already being arguably the second most impactful player for a young OKC Thunder team that currently owns the third best record as well as the third best point differential in the entire NBA. Well, to start off, Chet's raw numbers are already impressive as it is. Almost halfway into his rookie season, he's averaging more than 17 points, more than 7 rebounds, and almost 3 blocks per game, making him one of only 12 rookies in NBA history to average at least 17 points and 2 blocks per contest. And well, 9 players on that exclusive list are Hall of Fame big men, which include Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Shaq, and Tim Duncan, while the other remaining 2 guys are reigning MVP Joel Embiid and rookie phenom Victor Wembanyama. But apart from the basic stats, the advanced numbers make Chet stand out as well. When looking into 2 of the most reliable player value metrics used in the NBA, currently the estimated plus-minus rating or EPM projects Chet as a top 10 overall player this season, while the Bucks plus-minus metric or BPM also projects him as a top 20 player in the entire league, making him the only rookie to crack the top 50 of the list. So basically, all indications point to Chet Holmgren even deserving an All-Star recognition next month, which if he gets would make him the first rookie All-Star since Blake Griffin back in 2011, who by the way was another redshirt rookie just like Chet Holmgren. But what's even crazier is that if the season ended today, it also wouldn't be a surprise if Chet's teammate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won the MVP award, as SGA is currently averaging more than 31 points on almost 55% shooting from the field, all while having a steal rate north of 3%, making him the first player since prime Michael Jordan to put up those numbers. And because of this, the natural thought for many has been to slot Holmgren in as SGA's potential long-term sidekick, but instead of projecting him as simply a second star for OKC, in this video, let's dive deeper into why Chet Holmgren is actually primed to be a superstar and why he's poised to join SGA in the MVP race for years to come. So let's get to it. Well, sure, it might be too premature to predict an MVP-type player trajectory for Chet Holmgren, especially now that he's still just about halfway into his rookie season. But if any, I think that kind of prediction might even be conservative, considering that the current 4.6 Bucks plus-minus rating that Chet's putting up is actually tied with Tim Duncan as the 6th best BPM rating by any rookie in NBA history over the past 50 years, only behind guys like Michael Jordan, David Robinson, Arvydas Sabonis, Chris Paul, and Magic Johnson. To put it simply, the company surrounding rookie Chet Holmgren is genuinely outstanding, which potentially says a lot about his career trajectory. But then again, to be fair, a lot of people would also emphasize that Chet actually benefits from the experience he gained learning during his redshirt season, and also from the experience of playing with much better teammates than say someone like Victor Wembanyama. But then again, those things also apply to a lot of those rookies in that historical BPM list that we looked at earlier. Cause as a rookie, Tim Duncan played with David Robinson. Also, Joel Embiid was drafted in 2014 but didn't make his NBA debut until 2 years after. And even Magic Johnson played with 3 Hall of Famers during his rookie season. In any context though, Chet Holmgren's play on both ends of the floor has been incredible so far. He's currently shooting an insanely efficient 62% on 2-pointers and almost 40% on 3-point shots on pretty solid volume, all while producing a 65% true shooting percentage, which is also on pace to be the highest true shooting rate by any rookie in NBA history. Well, again, it isn't his fault that his percentages are being boosted by his tailor-made fit with the OKC Thunder system, most especially with how Chet's skill set perfectly complements the dynamic driving and scoring game of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with Chet being able to perfectly function as a legitimate play-finishing 7-footer who can double as either a stretch big man from the perimeter or as a lob threat around the basket. Here, watch how Chet initiates a side dribble handoff pick and roll action with Shai. At this angle, Chet's defender has no choice but to act as a helper, giving Chet the open lane to just rise up and finish off the beautiful lob pass from Shai. Then this time, you can see Chet setting a high screen, and with the double team coming for Shai, Chet already knows that he's gonna be all open popping out to the 3-point line. But as Taj Gibson tries to recover on him, Chet uses a pump fake to get a better shot as he easily drains the 16-foot jumper. But the thing is, the brilliance of Chet doesn't just come out because of him playing with one of the top guards in the entire league. In fact, Chet's offense appears to be just as efficient when he plays on the court with Shai as when he plays without him. In fact, Chet's true shooting percentage and his assist count per 75 possessions actually even increases when Shai is on the bench. And speaking of his assist numbers, what I like most about Chet given the ball in his hands more is the fact that he actually displays so much potential as a playmaking hub with so much advanced vision and passing flash for someone who's actually 7 feet tall. Just like in this play, you can see Chet in isolation defended by Tatum on the mid-post. He could have forced the issue and used his size advantage to get in the lane right here, but he recognizes the open baseline, so he sets up Isaiah Joe on the backdoor cut with a beautiful bounce pass. Then this time, Joe finds Chet around the elbows, and while everything is in motion, Chet could have easily hit J-Dub with a pass as he cuts to the lane, but Chet recognizes the open weak side shooter, so he instead slings the pass to Aaron Wiggins for the wide open three-pointer. Well, without a doubt, Chet is already a potent piece of OKC's offense, but his impact on the other end of the floor might be even more profound, as Chet already serves as the backbone of the number 7 ranked defense of the OKC Thunder, who by the way were ranked number 13 defensively last season with mostly the same personnel on the roster. And sure, individual defense is very tricky to measure, but right now, both the traditional and advanced stats support how Chet Holmgren's impact has changed OKC so much in that end, as so far, Chet ranks 4th in blocks per game and 3rd in shot blocking rate in the entire league. At the very least, he already deserves a look as the first rookie to make an All-NBA defensive team since Tim Duncan 26 years ago. But then also, for big men like him, one profound way to measure defensive impact is by looking at how effective one is at defending the rim, and Chet has already proved that he's one of the best in the league at doing that despite his slight frame. This season, Chet has defended the 2nd most shots per game at the rim only behind Joel Embiid, and opponents are also shooting just under 52% from that area with Chet as the nearest defender. That's also a top 8 mark in the entire NBA, tied with Victor Wembanyama. Also, with Chet serving as their last line of defense, it's no coincidence that the OKC Thunder currently lead the entire league with the lowest opponent shooting accuracy around the basket. In this play, you can see Jason Tatum being defended by Wiggins one-on-one while OKC plays a little bit of a zone at the back. Now it looks like Tatum's gonna have an easy driving lane, but then Chet just jumps out of the weak side to get the emphatic block right at the rim, securing the possession for OKC. Then in this play, you can see Chet putting a body on Nikola Jokic at the post, but then Jokic kicks it out to Murray, and as Murray sees daylight on his drive, Chet leaves Jokic for a while to jump in and to swat the airborne shot right on top of the basket. Although, despite the immediate success that Chet Holmgren's having, just like any other rookie, he's just definitely getting started in terms of what he's been displaying in terms of his skill set. Of course, he's had to share the ball with some talented shot creators in OKC, but still, one area where we might be expecting to see a lot more from him in a few years is his shot creation, at least in terms of volume. Well, Chet has only made one pull-up three-pointer so far in his career, and overall, only 27% of his made shots have been self-created. But in comparison, Victor Wembanyama isn't actually much better at 28%. Well, to be fair, that's actually a healthy mark for a center in terms of self-creation rate, but it's still not quite what you expect from a guy who's being compared to some of the best offensive big men in history. Still, this just might be purely because of all the touches he's had to share in OKC, because when he has the ball in his hands, Chet has still been showing a deep bag and a lot of juice off the dribble, enough to project him as an above-average shot creator moving forward, especially for a 7-footer. In this play, you can see Chet using the entire package against Kyle Anderson one-on-one. He creates separation with the behind-the-back dribble, he hesitates, and then he just uses all that size and length to bulldoze his way to an easy finish at the basket. Then here, coming from the handoff from Bertans, Chet is forced to be switched against LeBron. Here, he doesn't even give LeBron enough time to square up as he just pulls back and creates enough space to launch the unguardable 20-foot jumper. Well, we can't tell what Chet Holmgren would become a few years from now, but for sure, starting his career such that all his historical comparisons are practically Hall of Famers should be very terrifying for the rest of the NBA, especially considering that he's also teammates with someone like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's looking like a top 5 if not a top 3 player right now. This young Thunder team already currently have two of the best two-way players in the entire NBA, and when Shai and Chet are on the floor together, the Thunder have been outscoring opponents by almost 14 points per 100 possessions, which is a top 6 mark in the entire NBA among all two-man pairings with at least 500 minutes shared on the floor this season, only behind tandems from other contending teams like the Denver Nuggets, the Celtics, the 76ers, and the LA Clippers. Well, right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's brilliance working in perfect synergy with guys like J-Dub, Josh Giddey, Lu Dort, and a young but deep bench has already caused the Thunder's championship window to be wide open. But more than that, the rapid rise of Chet Holmgren has made it apparent that OKC isn't just ready to contend this season, but they're also primed to dominate the NBA for at least the next 10 years. But do you guys actually think that the OKC Thunder already has what it takes to make a deep playoff run this season? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as well. This has been Real Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.